Ooh, hello there. Um, just want to show three albums. There's a reason for this. Um, they're all from the late '60s. They all have the textured covers, you know, cobblestones. Feels like cobblestones. That's Rod Stewart, Gasoline Alley, um, Traffic, John Barleycorn Must Die. Also nice textured, just like, yeah. And another, you can't really see this, but this is also um, textured, uh, gracious. I think this might have been the second album released on Vertigo. Let's have a look. See that up in the corner of Gasoline Alley, 6360500. This is the 6360002. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, Now, the reason I showed those three is they're all got that, just black and white or grey and black covers, see? And they're beautiful to look at. But what I really love about these three is when you open them up, it's like whammo, it's just in your face, full on colour. Um, really love the, whatever the word is, the can't win with the light here today. I just did a video inside and it was so pixelated. I came out here and now the clouds have come over. Bloody hell. Yes, this is a pretty good album. This is really almost a Faces album in a way because it's got Rod Stewart, Ron Wood, Ronnie Lane, Kenny Jones drums, and Mac not available. Mac not available due to bus strike. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it's pretty much a Faces album, really. Um, it's good. Certainly not in the same league as the follow up, uh, which is Every Picture Tells a Story, which is the only Rod Stewart album anyone needs, to be honest. And just love that what do you call it? Juxtaposition. But this is my favourite one. This is just so beautiful. This is like a perfect album cover to me. It's not their best album. It's a good album, but it's not their best, not in my opinion. But this one really knocks your socks off, or knocks my socks off. It's so beautiful, but then when you open it up, blammo, you got ultra 1960s psychedelic, like the colours aren't coming up here. These are really, really psychedelic colours on this. It's all washed out on this little computer, but it's just, and of course, I got to show them because let's face it, Vertigo swirls aren't that common really. So that's gracious. Made in Australia. I can't believe they actually did a gatefold and pressed an album. I can't believe Vertigo. Normally in Australia at this time, if there was a gatefold overseas, we pretty much didn't get it here. They've actually gone to all that trouble, unless they probably imported the sleeve actually. The actual album was pressed in Australia. Anyway, doesn't say. Distributed in Australia by Phonogram, so I would imagine this was probably printed in Britain. Recorded at Philips Spring 1970. It's only got 4 tracks. What is wrong with this bloody light here? Can't win today. Cannot win. I think the inside one looks better. Oh, come on. It's pissing me off. Pissing me off, man. And fuck it. And the minute I turn this off, the sun will come out all nice and bright. And believe it or not, Rod Stewart on. This was probably the same deal. The album is actually manufactured in Australia, but the cover would definitely have been an import from the UK. So there's another one. Who would have thought Rod Stewart, who was one of the coolest dudes on the planet when this was made, would be on Vertigo, and then became one of the most uncool guys on the planet, like so many of them. You know, like he was so cool on those 2 Jeff Beck albums, and then those first 3 solo albums. I never had any of the Faces albums. They were good. I had a couple of the singles off them, but I preferred the Small Faces. I just didn't really want Rod Stewart joining up with the Small Faces, because what happened was it basically killed. You know, he got all the attention, and the Faces. I don't know. I'm a Small Faces fan, not a Faces fan particularly. I am waffling. So just love to show the difference between the outers and the inners. That's what albums are about to me. It's like all this nonsense about what's the better sound. It's the best sounding vinyls definitely come from a jazz recordings, Blue Note, etc., Impulse, from the late 50s through to the early 60s, because they're all live mic'd and pretty much live recordings. So you can't go wrong. You mic it right, and you got it made. And they're basically acoustic instruments too on those jazz albums. There's no electrification to just make distortion. So and bass was at that stage still stand-up bass. That's why those recordings will always sound the best on vinyl. The minute they started getting into 4, 8, 16 and 32 track vinyl, it's sort of irrelevant whether it was on vinyl or anything else, because it was becoming so compressed and I'm waffling. So, but yeah, this nonsense they go on about. So, I mean, I've got CDs that sound absolutely fantastic. I've got some vinyl that sounds absolutely fantastic. I've even got a couple of cassettes left that sound fantastic. It's about the equipment. It's how it was recorded, and I don't mind lo-fi. I don't. If something was just a band that came and went with and had one hit or no hit, there's some charm about that, the fact that they all managed to get to the studio or garage or wherever they recorded it, and it was made in the first place. That to me is a miracle. That's a gem, Anyway, waffling on. Bye for now.